Blessings to you. Welcome to Artist Impact. I'm your host, Jere B. This show is all about great music of every genre. We highlight, feature, and critique singers, bands, musicians, poets, and rappers from our local region and from all over the world. Most you may never have heard of before, but we bring them right to your door to encourage them and to see how we can impact their career. Now, helping me to do this is our Impact Panel, or as I like to call them, our Panel of Love. These are all entertainment professionals, and what they're going to do is review and critique the two artists we're presenting in this episode and see if in some way, somehow, they can make an impact. Maybe, maybe not. We'll find out. But let's introduce our wonderful panelists. First and foremost is my sister for real. This is Ava Lemert, the singing saxtress. She is always on point. How you doing, Ava?
I'm doing great, Jerry. Wonderful to see you all. Glad to be a part of this again.
I'm so grateful you are here. And George Hazelrigg hails from Doylestown, PA. If you've ever heard piano before, you've never heard George play, you got to get with it right now. George, what's going on, Mr. Jazzman?
Good to see you, Jerry. Jerry's my publicist, by the way. Yeah,
I am. And promoter. Don't forget that. Okay. And then, of course, there's Vance. Vance is becoming a regular on Artist Impact, and I love him to death. Vance, what's going on, brother?
Well, I'm glad to be here, see everybody again, and it's great to listen to new music and see what's going on. I'm enjoying this.
Absolutely. Well, Ava, you know what? I look at your website. I try to get information, and you're always updating it, but you just won this great award. Would you tell us what that award is?
Well, I got a nomination. I haven't won it yet.
Oh,
but I've been nominated for, I think it's 5 or 6 International Singer-Songwriter Association awards. So wish me luck. Maybe I'll get one.
Well, because we're speaking it here, you've already won it. Okay. So by the time this is aired, you've won.
Well, yes. We're going with that. We're going to manifest.
Absolutely. And George, man, not only are you doing jazz with the Hazelrigg brothers, man, but you have this wonderful tech company, and you are really heavily invested in Atmos mixing. Is it all this cracked up to be? I mean, us indies is what's going on with it.
It's the future, man. It is. I mean, I've got a foot in both camps. I'm pressing vinyl on one end and Atmos on the other end. I can tell you that there's a learning curve, and it's going to take a little while for the industry to catch up, but Atmos is the future, man, for sure.
Wow. Well, I can't wait to get deeper. I know that you're going to send me an invitation. I can come and hang out with you.
Absolutely.
Very, very cool. Well, Vance, as I said before, you are a regular. I must have asked you every question in the book, but you are producing this young hotshot down in Florida, and you've let me hear some of the music. He's absolutely phenomenal, man.
Yeah, he's a great artist. He writes and sings and plays every instrument, and we've had a lot of fun doing the album. We still got 3 tracks to go, so we got 7 done, and we've got 3 to go, so we're excited.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a remarkable project, man. We're definitely going to talk about that a little bit more, but first we have to go down to St. Lucia, where Essicrana reigns. He reigns, brother. What is going on, man? How you doing today?
Bless up music, bless up vibes. I'm feeling good. Thanks for having me on the show. I'm so happy to be here.
Absolutely. We're happy to have you, man. You sent in a song that was just like, it was just like fire. So tell me a little bit about this tune, man.
So my whole vibe is to bring high energy, high vibes to people. And that song, Calm a Cold, I really wrote it as a way to just get yourself hyped up. But then I snuck in some deep messages in there that if you're paying attention, you'll catch them.
All right. Well, will you allow us to play this fantastic song?
Most definitely, Jerry. I'll be on it.
Thank you very much.
Wake up yourself. I see you sleeping hard now, but that's bad for your health. If as a people we fall asleep 10,000 years, I'd rather dead than to bow for that. Wondering where your time is going, but it's hard to figure it out. You must do the equations, learn what life is about. smokes, I'm not breathing, only chokes. Feels like climbing only ropes, trying to live life on your lonely. Holy moly, can't let the world control me. Unlearning what they told me, returning what they sold me. Like my karma course, dash my time like it's illegal. Soaring like there's a deagle, blazing 100 degrees. You need a reason, take a moment to reason. There is no way to reason a life without a dream. I don't want to hear a peep from them now. Full of energy but lack of causation. If you're listening, I know that you're not dumb, and you're marching to the beat of your own drum. We don't care what the non-believers say. Never stressing on them, take back a pity. Cause we know we have investments there for days. It's impossible that wealth and iPod waste. About to let them hit the meditation. Let them reach nirvana when I hit them with that spiritual medicine. Let them witness murder, cleanse your soul and beg forgiveness now. Messed around and learned about your soil and bought some land and house. Garden of Eden, in why are we living in hell when heaven is in sight? When a ball is rising, pretty ball in the sky, and in the day that ball shine bright. Wonder why I never learned to put all my money in investments to keep my finances tight. Never mind, all my deals lined up right now. When I don't have the share profits, never gonna give up on my equity, that's my power. I'm getting more power, 10 lakh, 100 to a million. I wonder if did I get this power? Take my time and I study how to reach move. Stock real estate on business, time to double down. Doubling my input and double my gain. Double my dollars, don't mind if I do. Boy, holy smokes, I'm not breathing, only chokes. Feels like climbing oily ropes, trying to live life on your lonely. Holy moly, can't let the world control me. Unlearning what they told me, returning what they sold me. Like my karma cold, stash my time like it's illegal. Soaring like there's a eagle, blazing 100 degrees. You need a reason, take a moment to reason. There is no way to reason a life without a dream. Come a cold, come a cold, come a cold now. Come a cold, come a cold, come a cold now. Come a cold, come a cold. Come a cold, come a cold, come a cold now. Come a cold, come a cold, come a cold now. Come a cold, come a cold. Bless up music, bless up vibes. Jayu May on the track. Oi, back with another one. Put my check on the counter, but I'm not leaving money on the table. Think I'm stupid? Nah. It's hard for me to fall in love, I'm just too quick for Cupid. I used to believe in love at first sight once upon a time, but the truth is I did a bit of damage in the bed with the women when I sailed on the schooner. I went on the journey of a lifetime, I wish that I'd started sooner. Wake up on a yacht in the middle of the night illuminated by the luna. Who's got my check is held up by Republic Bank, I'm assuming. All night, and they see I'm in the zone when I'm dancing. Says she wanna see my dominance. Alright, Essicrana keep my composition. That's right, O2 to the dome when I take a flight. Take a picture on my phone, it'll last for life. I just pull up on the dock, but to catch a vibe. Gotta shout out to my mom for the good advice. I looked all around the town for a plate of fries. I pass a Apollo with some pieces, so I take a slice. Anytime it's my turn, I just roll a dice, and I feel supernatural like poltergeist. Who knew voodoo would run through you way back Wednesday, sharp like Ginsu. Didn't wanna hit him with the hidden knowledge.
Now that's Essicrana, and that's fire to me. But I don't know, Ava, what do you think?
I really like the energy, and I did catch some of those positive messages that you had in there. I'm not, I actually am not very well versed on the rap style, but I really liked it, and I think you've got a bright future.
Thank you. Thank you, man.
Very cool. George?
Very impressive. I was very impressed. Have you ever heard me say that, Jerry? Probably not.
No.
I'm not easily impressed. I was very impressed.
Appreciate it, George. Appreciate it.
And Vance, what do you think? Essicrana?
Yeah, like Ava was saying, I mean, the energy is phenomenal. And I wish I could understand all the lyrics. I want a lyric sheet, man, because it was obvious that you have passion and you're putting a positive message there. But my old English ears didn't quite catch all the words. But it was good. I loved it.
Excellent. Well, let's just go a little bit deeper. Ava, why don't you take the shovel and tell Essie how you really feel?
Well, there was a spot in the song. It was around 1 minute 45 seconds, and I'm not sure if it was me or if it seemed like there was some sort of some distortion or some sort of kind of almost audio pixelation that was going on there, unless that was an effect on your voice.
I didn't put any intentional effect in there. So if you heard that, that's probably an error.
Oh,
yeah.
No. The other thing I was going to ask you is, I'm probably going to beat some other people to the punch, but what was your inspiration for this song? Actually, it's two, isn't it? It's two songs.
Yeah. So the first one, Karma Cold, what really inspired it was the beat. I heard the beat, I felt something within me, and I just immediately started to lay down a melody, and the lyrics came after. So that was pretty much it.
Excellent. That's kind of how I work too. Melody, and then some lyrics come to me at some point, if it's going to be vocal.
Yeah.
But that's wonderful. Gosh, that's a lot. That's a lot. That was like a flood for you. That was like a flood of information. It's great that you were able to channel that into your music. Very impressed.
Thank you.
Absolutely fantastic. George, pick up where Ava left off, man.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's get down to it. Well, I mean, certainly you're virtuosic. I mean, you've got a serious command of your voice and your flow, and you've got a style that's obviously your own. And yeah, I mean, it was pretty impressive when you threw it in high gear there. I've done some hip hop stuff, even some kind of better known stuff that I won't talk about. But okay, so that's the good news. I think you have a bright future. That said, from a production, I'm going to put my record producer hat on.
Please.
I think that you need to make the tracks match the level of what you're doing vocally and compositionally. You know what I mean? So that means two things. That means your arrangement, your choice of sounds, also your audio quality and how you're approaching that. I think that if you worked with maybe a more serious producer and you had some more I don't know, sophisticated gear that you could work with, that's what would bring you there. Like, your vocals could use some treatment, that would put those things together. And I think that's what you need. And I think you've got it from there.
Awesome. Thank you. I actually would agree. I would like to get into some professional studios and lay down some tracks at some point, when I get the opportunity and when I put the finances together, for sure.
Good plan.
Very, very, very cool. Vance, I know you have a deeper shovel than most. Let's go at it, brother.
No, as I was saying earlier, it's so obvious that you have such passion for what you're saying, and I don't understand all the lyrics. So one thing that's very important is to do a lyric video. If you have a message to give people, then you better make sure that people can understand what your message is. Tell me, do you play the instruments? Is the instrument or looping, or do you play an instrument as well?
I do dabble around a little bit in Logic Pro when it comes to making beats, but I'm not very good on that side just as yet. So I work with producers locally, or composers, I should say.
No, and so yeah, the energy is there, man. You have a passion there for sure, and so yeah, all I can really focus on is the lack of understanding of the lyric. Obviously, very important lyric, and it's not just you. I say this to. I say this to everybody.
And I'm sure my island accent didn't help too much with that either. But
well, yeah. That's true. But yeah, I look forward to watching you and look forward to understanding you more. I like a man with passion.
Thanks, man.
That's excellent. Well, thank you so much, Essicrana. You've heard everything that the panelists have had to say. Do you have any pushback, or do you have any questions of your own?
Well, one note I did want to leave everybody with is the version of the track you heard for that video. It was a kind of a stripped down mix. The the videographer wanted to make it seem like it was live, so he took off some of my vocals there and some of the effects. But even with the full version of the track, it was mixed by me, and obviously I'm an amateur and can't be a professional at everything. But I do really appreciate the feedback. I'm glad that you felt the energy, which is what I really tried to convey, and I'm glad that you saw the uniqueness in it, because that's what I tried to deliver my own sauce, through my tunes. So I'm glad that you were able to get that.
Very good. Very good. Well, I know that there's much success in store for you. And I'll tell you what, we're going to go from the islands to California, which may be an island of itself. And we're going to talk to David Martinez, who is a superb guitarist, at least in my book. And David, I got to tell you right off the bat, we were kind of contemplating not letting you on because you have Abraham Laboriel on bass, but we decided you're so cute, we're gonna let you on anyway, brother. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, thank you, and thanks for the opportunity. It's great to be here.
Absolutely. Now, you are a graduate from Berklee School of Music, and you are a guitar instructor. Is that right?
Yep. That's part of what I do.
And you want to tell us a little bit about the song that you sent in to us, man?
Yeah, let me tell you a little bit the story before the song so it makes sense. But I have two kids. The oldest one, his name is Jayton, and on my first album I wrote a song for him which is called Jayton's Why, and I'll tell you more about that on another occasion. But he was the only one when I was writing the music here, and I actually wrote a song to my wife too, so my youngest son was the only one out of the picture, so I had to write a song for him, And so when I started working on this new project, his name is Toby, and we call him Vito, just kind of backwards.
Yeah. Well, that's excellent. Do you mind if we play it right now?
Please. Well.
And that was Beatles Land by David Martinez. I loved it. Ava, what do you think?
That's some pretty impressive musicianship on display. I loved how it went and highlighted each artist that was involved, because that was amazing. Wow. Very impressed.
I agree. George?
Well, you know me, I'm always a sucker for fusion. When I was a kid, I thought I was going to make my whole career playing that kind of music, and the world changes and whatever. but yeah, I love that stuff.
Definitely. And Vance, I know you are a sucker for jazz, so what's up, bro?
Yeah, I spent my entire life in fusion music with some great guitar players, and you're a great guitar player, man. And I love the fact that it was recorded live. I do like that.
Thanks.
Definitely. Well, come on, Ava, let's pull it out.
Well, I know that you are a virtuoso guitarist, but I'm just kind of wondering, do you play other instruments as well, David?
Yeah, I usually record guitars and bass on the studio, everything from acoustic, nylon. But you know what? I try to put my hands on everything that has strings. In fact, I record ukulele, Puerto Rican cuatro, Colombian tiple, mariachi vihuela, and it's not that I'm like a master of those instruments, but I really love strings. So everything that has strings, I try to learn it, and I enjoy it. Yeah, definitely.
I hear you. Yeah, that's how woodwinds are for me. And then I was wondering, that was so sweet that you've written songs for your children. I've written a song or two for my son and my husband, so that makes me wonder, have you written special songs for your wife?
You know what? Actually, the first song that I recorded on my album before the project that I'm doing now is called Sweet Melody, and my wife's name is Melody, so of course it's a song for her.
Perfect.
And it is instrumental, but she knows what I meant. She knows me, so yeah.
Oh, that's great. What a great name. Her name is Melody. It's just meant to be.
That's so cool. Very, very cool. George, I know you have your producer's hat on. I see it. So
yeah, I've already put it on. Yeah, I came with it on. Yeah, of course. All right, look. So what are you going to say? That's a great band you have there, obviously. I think I recognize the bass player from somewhere. I can't quite believe it. But yeah, I mean, great pianist, great drummer, obviously, and obviously you have your chops together, and it's fantastic composition. Love it.
Thanks.
Okay, so two things to nitpick, because on this level, there's not a whole lot that I can say. So here we go. First of all, you have a great pianist, and he's sitting in a room in front of a piano, but he's not playing the piano. He's playing this keyboard and not playing the piano behind him.
You want me to wait for you to?
Okay. All right.
No. You want me to explain you, or?
No, it's okay. I mean, I understand there are technical things that think, well, let's do it this way and stuff. But if I had it my way, he would have been playing that piano. So because he's a great player, and I wanted to hear that. And there's more nuances in his playing that will come through with the real piano. My other gripe is the bass sound. I mean, I'm obviously very familiar with his bass tone because I've been listening to it my entire life, and it felt really cut down to me for some reason. And when he turns on the throttle, man, it's like, and I'm not really hearing that in the recording. That I think a lot of that got lost, and I don't know if it's over compressed or it's just cut down a little bit too far out of the bass or whatever, but. I think you lost some of the impact of the audio part of it from that, and yeah, I mean that stuff is special at it. You want to try to preserve that as much as you can.
Definitely. Well, what do you have to say, Vance? I mean,
Well,
bro.
I think George just stole my thunder there because, acoustic piano. I mean, I spent 20 years with Tony Bennett, and every day was an acoustic piano. So. But apart from that, I love the track. I love the music. You're obviously very comfortable behind that guitar. But if I can just say something else, because I checked into you a little bit, and you have such a great compassion for educating young artists. And so tell us a little bit about that, if you would.
Well, I started teaching almost like 20 years ago. As soon as I learned a few chords, I started teaching at my local church, and I love teaching. And I always say I was blessed to go to Berkeley. I'm from Guatemala.
Right.
And some people didn't have that blessing or don't have that blessing. So every time I can share that through education to somebody that can go, I do it. And I think that's what keeps me teaching until today, So definitely teaching is one of my passions.
Well, for sure, you make it happen, man. So that's something very special.
Thank you.
That is so cool. Well, David, you've heard what the panelists all have to say. Do you have any pushback? Do you have any questions at all?
No, really. Thank you. And thank you for bringing those two special points about the piano and the bass, because So thank you. Yeah, that helps me to make my decisions better next time, definitely. And the sound, definitely. I would check that. I was making notes here because I want to bring that to the studio, definitely. Thanks.
That is so cool. Well, hold on, everybody. Don't go anywhere. We have to bring Essicrana back in. And as we're so grateful that you and David have joined us, can you tell me very quickly, what's the very next thing that's happening in your career, Essie?
Well, Jerry, as an independent artist, you kind of have to wear multiple hats. So I'm kind of going deep on my marketing skills right now so that I can help to promote myself. And then on top of that is just trying to record as many tracks as possible and release as many of them the right way.
Right. Understood. And David, what's next on your agenda, my friend?
Well, a couple of things right now. I'm finishing a new teaching material, actually, for videos and books and everything, and it's based on rhythm guitar. And we're also going back to the studio these days to finish 4 more tracks for my new project, which is going to be half instrumental and half. I invite a couple of singers to have some singers on the album too, so that's going to be done very soon too.
Fantastic. And Ava, I know your schedule is always booked to the hill. What's the very next thing that you're getting into?
Yeah, I've got some local gigs, because that's primarily what I do, are local performances. And those are fun, and I get to test out new material all the time and then see how the awards go, as we mentioned earlier. Yeah, so that's what I've got going on.
Well, the awards are coming, and they're coming hard and fast. George, I mean, you and your brother Joff are into like everything. We started with the Atmos, but what is the next thing that's happening for you?
I've got a record that is just about to drop any day now, and we have cut it to vinyl, and we sat through just an epic vinyl mastering session at Studio 4 in Pennsylvania with Phil Niccolo and Obie O'Brien recently, and it's really amazing. They've got this big facility there, and it was a really educational experience to sit through that. And also, DW Fern, which is one of the 2 lines that I manufactured, just got picked up by Sweetwater. So if you want the greatest deer ever made, go to Sweetwater and check it out.
That's fantastic. Grateful, man, for you. And Vance, I'm grateful for you. I love you with all my heart, brother. What's the very next thing that you need to put down?
Well, we are in big time pitch mode for the animated movie screenplay that Johnny Caswell and I put together. Well, Johnny put together, but creative editor on it. So yeah, we're excited. We're putting it in the hands of somebody we hope is going to fall in love with it. So that's our focus: animated movie screenplay.
That is fantastic. Well, for all of you, I definitely appreciate you all. I love you so much from the bottom of my heart, with the bottom of my heart, from the bottom of my heart, if you can dig it. Well, that's going to do it for this round of Artist Impact. Thanks again to our Impact panel, Ava Lemert, George, Hazelrigg, and Vance Anderson, and also to our special guests, Essicrana and David Martinez. Make sure that you support their artistry by going to a show if you're in their area, buy their merch, buy their music, and if you are an artist and you have an original performance music video, submit it to artistimpact.armstrong@gmail.com, and let's see if we can impact your career. I'm your host, Jere B. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you again next time. God bless. Blessings to you. Welcome to Artist Impact. I'm your host, Jere B. This show is all about great music of every genre. We highlight, feature, and critique singers, bands, musicians, poets, and rappers from our local region and from all over the world. And really, today, from all over the world. Now, most of these artists you've never heard of before, but we bring them right to your door to see how we can encourage them and if we can make an impact on their career. Helping me to do this is our Impact panel, or as I like to call them, my panel of love. These are all entertainment professionals, and what they're going to do is review and critique the two artists we're presenting in this episode and see if there's some way, somehow, they can make an impact. Maybe not, but we will find out. Let's introduce our Impact panel. First and foremost, Barry Cothing is the founder and CEO of MusicSupervisor.com, has a ton of placements of his own in film and TV. How you doing, Barry?
I'm doing good, other than my battery backup says I need to replace my battery, so it sounds like there's a bomb going off, but I promise it'll stop in a second.
Excellent. Well, international superstar, he's a singer for real, soul brother number new. We call him Carlton J. Smith. Carlton, what's going on, bro?
Everything. Marvin Gaye said that one time. What's going on?
What's going on?
Glad to be here with you guys.
So glad you're here. And world-renowned bassists, I got to tell you, Chick Corea, Tony Williams, all over the place. This is Bunny Brunel. How you doing, Bunny?
I'm just fine, thank you. It's so nice to be with you, all famous people like that.
Glad that you're the famous one with us, man. Well, I got to tell you, Barry, man, all of the placements that you had, and you've opened up Music Supervisor to be a great representative of people who want to get into sync and music licensing. How are you balancing all of the things that you do, brother?
It's a little bit tough. I mean, right now I'm in Houston, and we're working on we have these festivals we call Springboard festivals, where we have a bunch of industry experts. We pick 40 bands and we bring in 40 experts to coach them up over a weekend and showcase them. So we're doing a bunch of those, and so that we've been balancing that. We've also opened up We Get Artists, which is we're kind of taking the MusicSupervisor.com thing, and that's where we're able to talk directly with the artists, and we're developing some other things. So it's pretty exciting.
Well, I am grateful that you're with us, man. It's always a joy to see you, brother. I'll talk to you in a few minutes. And really, soul brother number new, tutored under the James Brown, international, all over the place. You're always in a different country when I'm looking you up, man. How do you balance what you do, globe-trotting the way you are?
Because I love people. And people are pretty much the same all over the world, whether they speak English or not. So as long as I got that vibe, I'm good. Give me some people and a microphone, I'm good.
Absolutely. Well, I'm so glad that you could hang out with us, Carlton. It's going to be a great show, brother.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Bunny, man, I am so humbled that you were able to adjust your schedule to hang out with us. You've been with some world-renowned bands, and not to mention the band that you put together yourself, Cap. You've been doing some major things, man. Are you doing cool out there in sunny LA?
Well, just keep going. I'm working on a new Cab album with a Tony McAlpine, and we already recorded most of it. We're waiting for Dennis Chambers to play the drums, basically.
Man.
So we keep going.
I mean, and you're doing it right, brother. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today.
No, yeah, thank you very much. And to be with you guys, you are all amazing.
Appreciate you. Well, I tell you what, this is a world famous show. We're international today, and we have to go to Germany, where they're well past midnight when we're recording this, and we made sure that Rick got some extra green tea in him so he could be up. How you doing, Rick?
I'm doing fine. Thanks, Jerry. Thanks for the invite.
Man, you sent in an incredible song. I think it's incredible. Great rock tune called Eileen. You want to tell us a little bit about it?
Well, yeah, I'd be happy to. That was a song which was composed when I lived in LA, and I fell in love with an actress, or a kind of a wannabe. She was, I'd say, frustrated because she wanted to be an actress, but her day job was teaching kids on the beach, and she would put on a red nose and act like a clown. So she really wasn't doing what she wanted to do, you might say.
Oh,
but
her name
was Marika. That didn't fit for the tune, so I wrote it about her, but I changed the name to Eileen simply because it worked more with the melody.
Well, do you mind if we share it with our American audience? You're in Germany, but you wrote it in LA.
Wouldn't mind at all. No, wouldn't mind at all.
I appreciate it. We're going to put it on right now.
Came along such an expression, with eyes like no other girl. But how do I make your connection? Say yes and I'll move the world. Eileen, I've got my eyes upon you. Eileen, is that a rainbow around you? You said you'd come and take me away. I don't think you really meant it, 'cause I don't have what you need, and the time I've already spent it. Eileen, I've got my eyes upon you. Eileen, is that a rainbow around you? Stayed there for one night, disappeared before the morning. Girl, you're so hard to find. Eileen, I've got my eyes upon you. Eileen, is that a rainbow around you? Eileen, I've got my eyes upon you. You can make me stay. Well, I think you can show me the way. Yeah, I think you can make me stay. Yeah, I think you can show me the way. Well, I think you can make me stay. Well, I think you can show me the way. Yeah, I think you can make me stay. Make me stay. Show me the way. Eileen, I've got my eyes upon you. Eileen, is that a rainbow around
you? And that was Rick Derman with Eileen. I thought it was a rocker. Barry, what do you think?
I think it rocks. It reminds me of my youth.
Carlton.
Parachute.
I like it. I like it.
And Bunny.
Well, I think it was amazing. You're only three people. They sounded fantastic. They did a great job.
Well, let's go in a little deeper. What do you got to say to Rick Barry?
So Rick, this is you wrote this while you're in Germany or in the States?
No, when I was living in LA.
And then did you record it in LA or did you record it in Europe?
I recorded it in Europe.
And how long ago did you write the song?
Between the writing and recording?
Just the writing. When did you finish writing it?
This was one of those songs where it was 10 minutes at the kitchen table.
Yeah, but
everything came at once. It's so unusual that happens, but when it does, it's fantastic. Just the lyrics, the melody, it just all.
Yeah. So what year did you write this song?
What year?
Yeah.
That would have been, I would say, I'm guessing now, about 13, 14 years ago, something like that.
Yeah. Well, that's great. I mean, it's got it very much, the video and everything really feels like a throwback to the 80s kind of, but it's still, it's not the 80s, but it's got a really good, comfortable rock band thing. And the video, too, feels like that kind of time period.
The video actually was filmed on German TV.
That's hysterical. Well, it looks very, very cool. I liked it a lot. And for film and TV, I think it's got value.
Great. I'm very happy to hear that.
Absolutely fantastic. Well, Carlton, why don't you dig in and let Rick know how you feel, bro?
First thought, when you got a song, a rock tune called Eileen, my first thought is Dexys Midnight Runners. Come on, Eileen,
Yeah.
I was looking for that. But now I don't even know if this is still a term, but the first thing that came to mind was power pop. I don't know if that's still, what it would be called, but I love that. I thought it had a great hook. I like your vocal, the lower register. You kind of, for a minute there, you made me think of Robin Palmer. Then there was another band called Toad the Wet Sprocket that made me, I don't know, that made me weird. But that's what I was thinking. Great song, great hook, sing along. I think the band should have more of a look. I'm not saying you should dress up like the Knack. That's another band from the 70s. But just have a nicer, cleaner look, because it's just three of you. So there ain't going to be so much for the girls to look at. So give them something to look at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, the guitar player.
Great song.
Okay, great. Thank you, Carl.
Definite.
Absolutely. So, Bunny Brunel, tell Rick how you feel about the tune Eileen.
Well, I like the fact that it was a kind of a simple things put together and all that. It's important when you make a song that people get into the song itself. Some people using like some tricks. They want to add some, like instruments and do different things. This is the raw thing. I like it because this is, you got it right there. You listen to the song, you got the lyrics.
Did you notice there was a bass solo in the second verse?
I was going to say I really like that,
which is very unusual in a pop song.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was getting into that. That was my next thing. So I like definitely, So congratulations.
That's
all right.
Excellent. Well, Rick, you've heard what everybody has to say. Do you have any pushback or do you have any questions of your own?
Not really. I mean, it was all positive. Nothing I want to push back against, quite honestly.
That's real cool.
Having the bass solo as being a real problem, but I thought you could take no.
Okay. Oh, my goodness.
I was just trying to add production values to each verse,
With a bass solo?
That was my goal.
Oh, really?
Fantastic.
Solo.
I tell you what, we'd love to stay here and talk, but we have to go from Germany to Serbia and talk to Nenad. Nenad is up late as well. How you doing, my friend?
Yeah, thank you. I'm fine. I hope you're fine too. It's okay. I used to get, to bed quite early, 4 a.m., 5 a.m. and so on.
Right. So this is prime time for you then. Man, I tell you what, you got an incredible funk band going over there in Serbia. And you want to tell us a little bit about the song Illegal Control that you sent in?
Yeah, thank you for the compliment. Well, that's the part of the Boogeyman concept that I did in 2021 is that I released it as an album then, but we're going to see a live performance, which I think is quite better than the recording one. Has the more energy.
Oh, wow. Well, I love the energy that was on this video. You mind if we play it right now?
No, I'll be happy to.
That's excellent.
it's illegal. When you're fighting on the street for freedom, they will say it is illegal. But if you fill my life with useless stress, how much illegal can you get? Everything is out of control, so let's get ready to roll. Illegal. Everything is out of control, so let's get ready to roll. Control. Everything is out of control, so let's get ready to roll. Illegal. Everything is out of control, so let's get ready to roll. If you speak yourself false on the web, they will say that it's illegal. Now if you speak yourself out on the web, they will say that it's illegal. But if you sell my life to useless ends, how much illegal can you get? Everything is out of control, so let's get ready to roll. Illegal. Everything is out of control, so let's get ready to roll. Control. Everything is out of control, so let's get ready to roll. Illegal. Everything is out of control, so let's get ready to roll. Listen to my guitar. Even when you sleep, they're watching you. Even when you sneeze, they're watching you. You've been watched, monitored, controlled. Second by second, tap by tap. When you track each single step I make, they will say that's not illegal. When you track each single step I make, they will say that's not illegal. But if I push the bomb onto your head, how much illegal can I get?
Everything is out of control, so let's get ready to roll.
Illegal.
Everything is out of control, so let's get ready to roll.
Control.
Everything is out of control, so let's get ready to roll.
Illegal.
Everything is out of control, so let's get ready to roll.
Control.
Everything is out of control, so let's get ready to roll.
Illegal.
Everything is out of control, so let's get ready to roll. Everything is out of control, so let's get ready to roll. Everything is out of control, so let's get ready to roll. Everything is out of control, so let's get ready to roll. Everything is out of control, so let's get ready to roll. Everything is out of control, so let's get ready to roll.
Now that's what I'm talking about. Illegal Control by Lynette and his incredible funk band. Barry, what do you think?
I loved it. I think I love big bands and stuff like that with everything he's got going on, and I definitely like the little funky wah guitar part too. You gave yourself a little moment in there.
What do you think, Carlton?
Get down, get down. I loved it.
That's excellent. What do you think, Bunny? What do you got to say about Illegal Control?
Well, I love that type of band like that. That's when I started playing. I used to play James Brown tune, in the 60s, and that's what I had with the horn section.
Yeah.
I just love it.
That's excellent. Well, let's get deeper. Barry, going with the shovel, brother.
All right. Well, I love the tune. I love the band. And when we were talking offline, you talked about that this is a live version, but you did the record version first.
Yeah.
For what I do in terms of film and TV, I would want to hear that version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you. I'll send you the full album if you want to.
Oh yeah. Well, no, like I mean, it's always fun. Like whenever, just so you know, in film and TV, whenever there's a production value, a horn section, live strings, gospel choir, we always jack the price up because then you go around the block and go get another gospel choir or another live string date. So that production value can really help you, and it's also that kind of music can be in really a lot of fun. It brings a lot of energy to whatever's happening in the picture.
Yeah, thank you. So I'll send it to you right away. Yeah, thanks. Great.
Very, very cool. An impact being made in Carlton. I know you want to go down in there real
Here we
deep.
go.
So what's up, brother?
Nanette, I was saying the girls make the song come alive more. I like what they were doing. It's interesting that this is considered a funk band and everything, because I was thinking, I don't hear you as much of a vocalist. I hear you as like a George Clinton, like the girls are singing and you come in saying things. So you have a good radio speaking voice as opposed to being a singer. Maybe even hire a male singer, but you're the guy that's sort of narrating the whole thing. Like you're the overall leader of this funk outfit. That's what I hear, So I dug it, and the chant that you do in there is very similar to a chant that was on a Funkadelic record called Charlie Funk Getting Ready to Roll. So it was very interesting. I definitely heard the connection. You're the George Clinton of that band. Make no mistake. Okay.
Well, thank you. Well, I'm deeply influenced by Funkadelic, so yeah, it's obviously.
We hear it.
Thanks a lot.
That's very, very cool. And he's been called the P-Funkster before. Serbia's George Clinton. What do you got to say, Bunny? I know you want to jump in.
Oh, well, I was mentioning before, that's when I start playing. That's the kind of band I would put together. So for me, I love that, with the background singers and anything. It's funny, I put the band together playing, as I was mentioning, some James Brown. That was the hip at the time. And I had an American singer, and her name was Shirley Bunny Foy. It's just spelled Bunnie, Bunny. So it was funny to have her. But she was great. She was doing a great job. And what I like in listening with the horn section and things like that, for me, it's so exciting, And then you have background singer, you do girl sing, and this is what I like the best, So I really loved it. It was fantastic.
Thank you so much.
That is wonderful. Well, of course, Nanad, I don't know if you have any pushback or not. The brothers were very into what you're doing, man. But you have any questions of your own?
To tell you the truth, I was a bit afraid when I saw who the panelists are. It was like they're going to chop me into little pieces. But, I'm very grateful for their opinion, and I'm really thrilled that they like the song.
Right. Let me know if you need somebody to sing some funk for you, okay?
Yeah, we'll do. Gladly.
Bring the funk.
Oh, no, man. I want the guy behind your shoulder. That's the guy
Who didn't tell? Okay.
You guys, I tell you what, man. Well, let's bring Rick back on. And Rick, I just want to know from you what's going on in Germany. What do you have coming up that you can share with us?
Working on a new album. First time I did a reggae track, and that one's in the can already. So I'm stretching out in some different musical directions on this. There'll be some rock, but I'm doing some other things with the album, as I say. There'll be a blues tune and just different genres that I wanted to explore. And I've got some live dates coming up as well in Germany at this time.
That's absolutely excellent. We're looking to hear more from you. And Nanad, what's on your schedule, man? What's going on, if I could talk?
Yeah, well, I'm a bit of a megalomaniac. I'm doing a trilogy of 3 albums at the same time.
Wow.
And I plan to release them during this year. One is called Living Soul, and it's soul music. The other one is called Fundamentally, and it's basically 80s funk groove or something like that. And the third one is called Jazzabella, and it's a jazz album. And I hope to finish them during this year. And I have engaged the musicians, and a lot of the songs is already done, just waiting for post-production and something like that.
That's absolutely fantastic. Well, nothing but much success, I know, for both you and Rick are going to happen. And thank you for being our international artist. But Barry, I know that your schedule is always on point. What's the next big thing that's happening for you?
Well, I just wrapped a movie called The Man in the White Van. It's a true story about a serial killer in Florida between 1973 and 1980. And so next year, you should be able to go see it in the theaters, but it came out really, really good. It's got Sean Astin, who's Frodo's friend for all of us, or the guy in Rudy, Kim Basinger's daughter, Sky Jackson. It's got a really good cast. Warren Scales is the guy who wrote the script and was the director. It's a thriller. It's very scary, but no blood, guts, and gore.
Well, I know you're going to need some music for it, so don't forget us over here, okay?
Oh, no.
Carlton, I know anywhere there's a microphone on the planet, you'll be singing, but what's happening with you next, bro?
Well, I was supposed to have been back in Turkey by now, but they had that huge earthquake, so that's shut down for a minute. Right. So we're looking at, I'm going to be in London and Austria next. But right now I'm in America for a while, so I'm doing shows in America. I've got records coming out as well, so I'm glad to be home for a minute. It's like the first time in over 20 years. I'm happy to be home. You know, I'm learning English again.
There you go. Well, we're happy to have you, man. So grateful for you. And Bunny, I know your schedule's always killed too, but what's the very next thing that you're working on, my friend?
Well, I did make a production, the Stanley Clark, or the albums that we call Baseball.
Oh, yeah.
With a bunch of bass players, with, Victor Wooten, Billy Shan, Bailey, Armand Sabaleko, and, the list goes on and off. And we did a Baseball 2 that was just released, and it's with, of course, with Stanley, that's the thing. Kyle Eastwood, the son of Clint Eastwood, plays the bass. I'm the one who taught him how to play the bass, by the way.
Yeah, there you go.
Then Armand Sabaleko, Dominique Di Piazza, Sekou Buns, Freddie Rico, Malaman, John Depp. So I got all those bass players playing and all that, and this is just out. Wow. But I'm going in a tour in Europe on the 20th of this month. I'm going for a week and all that, and we're gonna play some places where people maybe don't want to go, but we're going over there. That'll be fun. I'm going over there with my wife, who plays the flute and sing, Kellyn Peoples, and we're gonna use some musicians from there, so making it fun.
Very cool. Well, I am very, very humbled that you guys decided to spend your time with the likes of me. And I know there's nothing but big, huge success coming in the future. Peace and blessings to you all. And that's going to do it for this episode of Artist Impact. I want to thank our Impact panel, Barry Coffin, Carlton J. Smith, and Bunny Brunel, and obviously Rick Derman and Nad, our wonderful artists. Make sure that you support their artistry. If you're in Germany, if you're in Serbia, go out to a show, buy their music and their merch. And if you are an artist and you have an original performance music video, submit it to artistimpact.armstrong@gmail.com. Let's see if we can make an impact on your music career. I'm your host, Jere B. Thank you for joining us. And if you're in Hubbard, go and check out my man Luke at Pure Flight Disc Golf. Tell him Jere B sent you. Peace and blessings to you. We will see you again next time. God bless.